They say he's from Alabama, and he's accused of catching 18 bodies in Alabama and a whole bunch of attempts. I'm talking about he's literally a hitman, y'all. Like, the way some of these folks live is unbelievable. But I make some money. We about to watch this video. Let's get straight into it.
The story of this 22-year-old Damien McDaniel from Birmingham, Alabama is worse than I initially thought. Originally, when I first stumbled upon this story, which I covered 11 months ago, he was accused of being responsible for 11 murders and 30 attempts.
30 attempts?
Fast forward till date. Prosecutors are now alleging he's responsible for 7 additional bodies, making the number a staggering 18 murders and 30 attempts. While most young men of his age are home playing video games, it seems like this guy was out here playing GTA in real life.
Damn.
So I'ma just break down the timeline of his spree.
No, I ain't gonna lie, we happy Damien got caught, cause he popping anybody. 18 bodies, 30 attempts. How you even got that much time? No, that's real commitment.
Investigators in the state of Alabama. So make sure you drop your thoughts in the comments section. Also hit the like button so the video can get to more people. Without any further delays, let's get to it.
Gonna do the same thing to you, so why not do it to them? Why show them compassion when they ain't gonna show your folk no compassion?
Babe, saying he ain't sparing shit.
Babe, for what? They ain't gonna spare me.
Gonna put it like
yeah,
that.
wait, when if their son end up dead and they come to court, they ain't gonna spare me in the courtroom.
Hey, I know
they gonna want my ass though.
Nah.
You hear me?
The guy who he got his arms around is Naquan Lola. He is also a co-defendant in one of the incidents I'm about to describe here. This is a timeline of the violent spree he was accused of committing. On July 12 of 2023, 2 firefighters were doing their morning routine maintenance at their local station in Norwood neighborhood when somebody entered through an open door bay and opened fire on both of them. Both men ended up being rushed to the hospital, and 5 days later, one of the individuals, Jordan Melton, succumbed to his injuries, while the second man, Jamal Jones, survived.
Guys, I can tell you that right now, the police are working very hard to figure out who shot those 2 gentlemen right here in the Norwood neighborhood, right in front of, or right inside, I should say, station number 9 here. As you can see it behind me, those gentlemen standing right inside the bay doors there, they were open at the time. It happened at about 8:30 this morning. And again, they were standing just inside those open bay doors. And you just heard, we have just learned very recently the names of the 2 victims and their condition. One listed in serious condition, the other in critical condition.
Prosecutors are alleging it was Damien who walked through that door and opened fire on those men. Later on in November of 2023, police were called to a home around 4 p.m. When they arrived, they found 52-year-old Reginald Bryant laying unresponsive in the back of a home after being shot. Police said it appeared that Bryant had been a robbery target, and he was approached by several suspects prior and then fired upon, causing his death.
A man is dead tonight following a possible ambush shooting this afternoon in the North Pratt neighborhood. The call came in just before 4 o'clock on Closhire Lane. Investigators believe the victim was at home or at a home in the neighborhood when he was approached by several people, then shot. The man died at the scene. No arrests have been made.
Damien and another individual, Lorenzo Wiley, are both charged with capital murder in this case. 2 months later, on January 10th of 2024, officers were dispatched to a home in Oak Ridge Park neighborhood just after 2 a.m. on reports that a person had been shot. When they arrived, they found 21-year-old Mia Nixon laying in the driveway and suffering from a gunshot wound. She was pronounced dead at the scene.
That late breaking news out of Birmingham this morning. Birmingham police telling us that a young woman was shot and killed.
Bro, he done hit 2 firefighters and a woman. Like, what's to the, this?
Of her home. It happened on Greencrest Turn in Crestwood. Birmingham police identifying the young victim as 21-year-old Mia Nixon. Investigators say that whoever shot her took off. No one has been arrested.
Damien is charged with intentional murder and Nixon's death. The next month, on February 15th of 2024, police began investigating the disappearance of Angelia Webster and Christian Norris. Norris and Webster, both 20 years old, were last seen alive on Valentine's Day as they left the residence in the Ensley area on their way to a movie theater. 2 days later, their bodies were found inside their car in the William neighborhood. The wild part about the story was that Webster was actually pregnant at the time, and the prosecutor said one of the couple was actually related to Damien. That was their cousin. Sadly, the fetus never got a chance to see the world. Another 2 months later, on April 9th of 2024, a UPS employee was gunned down in the parking lot of a UPS facility in a targeted attack. Police said he had just ended his shift and was shot and killed while walking to his car.
With breaking news, a shooting outside a UPS store in Birmingham. The WVTM 13's Aaron Llewellyn on the scene as...
Bro, you not safe nowhere in the city from this nigga, bro. Like, they went to the movies on a date. He popping people. He catching folks at their jobs. He like... This nigga's like... the Joker or something. Like, he really like... Nah, he more demonic. Like, what's... Bro, do y'all see this? Like, Damien is 7 bodies in on straight innocent people, I think.
Speak, Aaron, what do we know?
Yeah, guys, so right now this is being investigated as a homicide. We know that there was a person shot, or that call came out as a person shot. I'm going to step out the way so I can give you a look at the scene here at this UPS facility. So this is where it looks like a UPS warehouse. Now, we've seen several UPS trucks and semis branded in UPS wrapping that have been diverted because of the traffic here.
Police alleged this was a murder for hire plot, and another individual, Charles Nance, was also charged with capital murder for hiring Damien to execute the UPS employee. Another 2 months passed. On July 13th of 2024, there was a huge mass shooting at the Trendsetter Lounge. Officers responded to reports of multiple people shot at the venue, and when they arrived at the scene, they immediately observed the body of Stevie McGee, a 39-year-old Birmingham man, on the sidewalk outside of the club. Inside the club, officers found multiple gunshots victims, 2 of whom were pronounced dead at the scene. Police said 11 additional victims arrived at the hospital throughout the night, 1 of whom died from their injuries. There was a birthday party being held inside, and an altercation occurred, after which someone drove by outside and opened fire into the club.
Most violent 24-hour period in the city's history this century. 17 people shot in what police call targeted attacks.
Just awful. WVTM 13's Lisa Crane is live at local at police headquarters, where city, state, and federal law enforcement held a press conference, Lisa, just a short time ago.
Yeah, it was a packed conference room here at police headquarters this afternoon. The room filled with local, state, and federal authorities, all with one goal: to find the person or the persons responsible for
7 and 10 injured. This one man done caused all this horror. This dude is crazy.
Deadly Saturday in Birmingham.
Like, he really...
14 people shot, 4 of them killed Saturday night at this event center in North Birmingham.
There are too many families who have been devastated and destroyed because of gun violence in our city. And everyone in this room, to be frank, is just sick and tired of it.
Residents in the area seem to be fed up as well.
We got women dead. We got kids running around with guns. And the mayor and the councilman do not care.
Damien was charged alongside another individual at Terriers Woods. The next month, on August 13th of 2024, police responded to a stolen vehicle call in the housing community known as Vice Hills in North Birmingham. When they got there, an officer heard gunshots being fired from inside of an apartment. The officer confronted an armed suspect coming out of the apartment, allegedly Damien, according to the police. During the confrontation, the officer fired at him. He missed, and he got into the passenger side of a stolen vehicle and drove away with another suspect. The officers followed them until they found the vehicle abandoned. Inside the apartments, officers then found the 61-year-old Charlie Herbert Moore laying shot and unresponsive. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
When officers went to that area, that's where they found and heard gunshots, and they also found a man who was armed as well. Now, the officer who arrived at that scene fired towards the armed individual. That armed individual fled the scene in that stolen vehicle along with a second suspect. Now, according to BPD, that's when the officer followed them along towards the 4100 block of Fairmont Place. That's where BPD was able to recover the stolen vehicle, but both suspects fled that scene, leaving the vehicle empty. During the midst of the chase, another officer checked the apartment where the shots were originally heard and found a man who had been shot. He was pronounced dead at the scene.
Prosecutors charged Damien and Antarius Woods as the one who broke into the man's apartment, and they also charged Charles Nance as the one who lined up the robbery.
Birmingham police charging another man with capital murder in a deadly shooting in the Vice Hills housing community earlier this year. Court documents say Charles Nance played a role in Charlie Moore's death after someone broke into his home and shot him back in August. Nance was charged after Damien McDaniel told investigators that Nance was...
See, that's why I'm wondering how they getting the full scope on everything. Hold on. Move this up. See what that say? Hitman turned truth teller. That's why I'm like, how they know everything Damien did? So Damien just let him know about all 17 bodies he committed. That was me, that was me, that was me, that was me, that was Charles. And he snitching? Oh no, this is a dangerous man. He'll pop you on a moment's notice and then he'll tell him yes. He different. He really different.
Too, you might remember that name. McDaniel is believed to have killed 11 people over the course of 3 months this year. Right now, McDaniel, Nance, and Hatarius Woods all face charges in Moore's murder.
The next month, on September 19th, police responded to the 604 Bar and Lounge in response to a shooting. Upon arrival, officers entered the bar and found an unresponsive woman, DeAndre Brown, suffering from a gunshot wound. She was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, and she was later pronounced dead. No one else inside the bar was injured, so it was a targeted hit.
News tonight, a homicide investigation happening right now on 9th Street North in Smithfield.
WVTM 13's Zoe Blair is live and local on the scene for us. Zoe, this apparently happened at a nightclub?
That's right. You can see here behind me, the Birmingham Police Department is investigating what they're calling a targeted shooting from earlier tonight. Multiple shots were fired into 604 Lounge. Over there, they struck one woman. The Birmingham police found that woman unresponsive when they arrived on the scene. She was taken to UAB hospital for her injuries, where she was later pronounced dead.
Damien stands charged with intentional murder and her death. Just 2 days later after Brown's shooting, on September 21st, there was another mass shooting at a hookah and cigar lounge. It happened outside a Hush Lounge, where 4 people were killed and 17 others.
Every club was... Bro, he was single-handedly ruining every weekend in Birmingham, Alabama. Like, bro, he blinking up every club. I never seen nothing like this from one person, bro. Like, what is this?
Injured, most of whom were just caught in the crossfire.
The individual that was targeted is among the deceased. We believe that there was a hit, if you will, on that particular person, as far as, someone was willing to pay money to have that person killed. We just have that information from some of the information we've learned in the last few hours of that investigation. I mean, that could change, but that's where we're at right now. Like I said, there wasn't anything that occurred at any of the businesses nearby. There wasn't an altercation that occurred there on the sidewalk.
How many shooters?
There were multiple.
Were they in a car or did they?
They were in a vehicle, got out of the vehicle, shooting occurred, they fled in the vehicle.
There was no long breaks after that mass shooting. The next day on the 22nd, officers were dispatched to the South East Lake area in response to a shot spotter alert. Upon arrival, they found 32-year-old Jamarcus McIntyre laying on the sidewalk, suffering from a gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Officers also located a woman suffering from a gunshot wound nearby, and another male was transported to the hospital in a private vehicle. Damien was charged with capital murder, and 3 counts of attempted murder in that case. 3 additional suspects, Marco Beck Jr., Naquan Lawler, and Larry Rollins, face additional charges ranging from capital murder to trafficking heroin. In October of 2024 was when Birmingham police chief announced Damien's arrest and charges. At the time, they were only charging him with 11 murders.
So I want to discuss, as Sergeant Wade said, several updates on several recent homicides, but I'll be very candid up front. There'll be very limited information on what I'm able to give on some of these investigations. So these will be in chronological order. Our first arrest was of Damien McDaniel, black male, 22 years of age. He is charged with murder with no bond in the murder of D. Trinette Brown. That murder occurred on Thursday, September 19th, 2024 at 604 9th Street North. McDaniel is also charged with capital murder and 17 counts of attempted murder in the mass shooting that occurred on Saturday, September 21st, 2024 in the 2000 block of Magnolia Avenue in the 5 Point South Entertainment District. These charges have no bond. On September 22nd, 2024, a homicide occurred at 775 81st Place South, which resulted in the death of Jamarcus McIntyre. The following suspects have been charged in his arrest. Damien McDaniel, black male, 22 years of age, is charged with capital murder and 3 counts of attempted murder in this case with no bond. Naquan Lawler, black male, 22 years of age, is charged with capital murder and 3 counts of attempted murder with no bond in this case. Larry Rollins Jr., black male, 31 years of age, is charged with capital murder and trafficking heroin with no bond. And DeMarco Beck, black male, 29 years of age, is charged with capital murder with no bond. Well, you have a...
Hold on. This is the worst nigga ever. This ain't even like, I ain't never even seen my people do this to this extent. This man done blick up 3 folk clubs, 18 people dropped, 30 attempts as a black man. No, this is the worst nigga ever. They need to give him the penalty. No, they got to get him off the earth.
Suspect for one thing that's charged in all 3, which is Damien McDaniel.
He got it.
Initially, Damien was charged with just the September murders, along with the other co-defendants. On October 17th, his bond was set for $1.7 million on the September killing spree. On November 27th, Damien was charged in the other mass shootings in July and in August after police were able to make a connection. What's interesting about this case is that back in 2019, he was convicted of 2 counts of attempted murder. He is currently 22 right now, so which means he caught those cases as a juvenile shooting 2 people. That case resulted in him being sentenced to 13 years, but he only served 2, perhaps because of the pandemic. Immediately after his release, he was charged with shooting another person on January 31st of 2021, but the case ended up being dropped after the victim refused to testify in court. Now that he's been sitting in there for...
See, all that non-snitching got 20 more people killed. All right, that's all I'm saying is, somebody should have told on Damien ass. However, you let Damien pop you for no reason, and then he popped 40 more people for no reason.
Time now, they're accusing him of 7 others, making it a total of 18 murders and 30 attempts. If found guilty of those charges, it's a possibility he might get the death sentence, which I'm all for. Because ain't no way someone who's just out here terrorizing the whole community should be allowed to breathe the same air as us normal human beings.
Not for real.
When I made the last video about him, it was a few people in the comments saying, he's not the only one like that in Alabama. Like that's some kind of brag or some shit. Well,
that's goofy.
Sorry to the regular people in that state. I don't want to be around people who think shit like this is cool or okay.
Yeah, something wrong.
Everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
Man, hell no, that ain't guilty. Bro, he did, you telling me he did all that, man? Come on, bro. I ain't never seen nothing like that before. Make sure y'all subscribe and then all that type of stuff. And if you don't, just watch another video. I'll see you in the next one.